Ben Johnson talks playoffs plus more at his Monday press conference, and we're going to react to it here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Gosh, that feels good, doesn't it? Playoffs. We're talking playoffs. Yeah, Bears are in the postseason. Another thing he talked about was Kyler Gordon, and kind of unprompted, Ben Johnson was kind of asked about just the health of the team, so on and so forth, kind of in a broad question. And kind of unprompted threw Kyler Gordon into the conversation. Here's what he had to say. He said, "You do feel the health starting to return to us. We hope to have Kyler Gordon back for the playoffs." And again, he was not specifically asked about Kyler Gordon. So the fact that he's saying that does give me hope that he could return. Now, I still have mostly the same stance I had a few weeks ago when he got re-injured and put on IR. I have no expectations really for Kyler this season because he's had multiple soft tissue injuries. I mean, you look at it here, missed the first 4 weeks with a hamstring, missed 5 more weeks with a calf and groin, and then he's going to miss this 4-game stretch to end the regular season with that groin injury that he re-aggravated. But he is eligible to return off of IR for the playoffs, and if he can, you absolutely play him. I mean, well, what do you have to lose? Another soft tissue injury? Like, if he's medically cleared, you play him because you want as many good players available. Now, I think you have to be relatively careful with, like, building a game plan around him, but if you can have him out there, even in a part-time role, that would be huge for this team. And, you know, I think you would have to kind of view it as, like, icing on a cake, right? You shouldn't expect it, but it's a little something extra. If he can give you something, that would be huge. And listen, with CJ Gardner-Johnson's situation, which we'll talk about in a second, that would give you even more reason. Like, hey, even if he's not 100%, if he can go, let's suit him up. If he gets injured again, well, you got 7 months to get healthy for next season. So, yeah, if Kyler Gordon can return for the postseason, they absolutely should bring him back. What do you guys think will happen? Do you think Kyler Gordon will return for the playoffs? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. Let me know what you guys think. Now, what about CJ Gardner-Johnson? I don't know if the media did a poor job today of not asking Ben Johnson about him. Were they asked by the PR ahead of time, do not ask about CJ Gardner-Johnson's injury? I'm not sure. Maybe I missed something, but it was not discussed today about the severity of his injury. Now, I was told by a source that the initial testing showed that he did not tear his ACL. I think we would know by now had he because it's been 2 days, and typically MRIs the next morning, and if it's a torn ACL, that news gets out. So what is it? Is it a hyperextended knee? Did he sprain his MCL? Is it nothing and he just, you know, I don't know, like almost like did he get a bone bruise or something? I don't know. It didn't seem like it would be an injury like that because he was running and his cleat kind of got stuck in the ground. So you're like, oh, it's kind of a non-contact issue, but it would appear he didn't tear the ACL. The question would be, can he return? You know, you got 2 weeks left. You're already in the playoffs. You would think you'd sit him these 2 weeks and then reevaluate for the postseason. But if one of Kyler Gordon or CJ Gardner-Johnson can be available, that's huge because, let's face it, it's a big drop-off to Nick McLeod after that. And maybe they try Tyreek Stevenson at nickel, but we haven't seen any indication of that at this point. Okay, Ben Johnson did talk about the playoffs like we mentioned off the top. You know, week after week, he's been asking, hey, you're here, hey, you're there. And he said, we haven't accomplished anything. We're not in the postseason. Well, now they are, and here's what he had to say. He said, that was step 1. Step 2, it is to win the division. We want to have at least one home game. And step 3 is the number 1 seed. Those goals are still out there. And it's just a clear indicator, and it was clear when he was saying, hey, we haven't accomplished anything yet, even though, you know, 10 wins is an accomplishment based on where this team has been. But they have high goals and they have high standards. And, yeah, they've checked one of those boxes now, and they're chasing more. And why wouldn't they? They've won 11 out of 13 games. Like, they should feel like they can chase a lot more. And he's right. You need to win the division now. Like, there's almost nothing that could happen the rest of this way that would be a disappointment. But if you didn't win the division with a game and a half up with 2 games to go, that would be kind of a mild disappointment at this point. Going into the season, it wouldn't have been, but right now it would. So that's the next step. Win one of your final 2 or have the Packers lose one of your final 2. That gets you the division. And then to his point, the number 1 seed is very much still out there. We broke that down in great detail earlier today. Go check out this video. Hit that subscribe button, free and daily Bears content. If you see this thumbnail, we broke it down in detail, how the Bears can still get the number 1 seed. We also broke down other playoff scenarios and a couple of other topics. So if you want free and daily Bears videos, including this one, subscribe and go check it out. Okay, he also was asked about Montez Sweat's emergence, and there's no question he's been better the last several weeks. Still not great, but I do think he's been better, and we'll kind of break that down for you guys coming up here in just a moment. But we do have to tell you guys first about our awesome sponsor. That is PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. That is PrizePicks. Everyone's favorite PrizePicks holiday promotion is back. 7 days of Picksmas. PrizePicks is giving out 7 days of deals all the way through Christmas Day, including a Christmas Day max discount. Picksmas started on December 20th, so download the app today and continue to unwrap those deals. Awesome new feature alert on PrizePicks as well. They have early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. I got a little Monday action for you guys. Christian McCaffrey took more on his receiving yards, took more on half a touchdown for George Kittle, receiving or rushing, doesn't matter. And then I do think Phillip Rivers throws at least one tud tonight, so took the more on half a touchdown pass. So check that out. $20 lineup to win at $95. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. All right, let's talk about Montez Sweat now, who can be a frustrating player. I do think he's been good. I want to acknowledge that. My thing has always been, it's not even really Montez Sweat's fault. It's more of, he's really more of a number 2 to me on a good defensive line, and he's having to be a number 1 on the Bears D-line. But Ben Johnson had this to say about 98. He said, since the bye week, I think he has been playing some of the best ball of his career. I feel really strongly about the way he was playing right now. I feel really strongly about the person. I mean, I think they clearly challenged him this offseason after a disappointing last year. And, the first month I was like, oh boy, he's not doing much. But he's definitely picked it up. He's got 8.5 sacks over the last 11 games. He is flashing more. I think he's been a little better in run defense than he was to start the year. I think he's having a solid season. Is he a dominant player? No. Can he have dominant flashes? Yes. That's kind of what we saw when the Bears first traded for him. Then he got that contract, and last year seemingly could not get his season off the ground. But again, my problem is, okay, yeah, Montez Sweat, good player. Who else can step up and be that guy? I think Grady Jarrett's slowly been coming on in the run game specifically. He's done some good things. Austin Booker the last couple of weeks has flashed. But I think Montez is the key. If the Bears are going to make a deep run, he has to stand out. Like, he's got to be a guy that's impacting the opposing quarterback multiple times a game. I'm not saying sacks multiple times a game, but get a sack a game, get in his face a handful of times. And, while he has been racking up some numbers, there still seems to be stretches where he disappears. Now, he gets double-teamed a lot because there aren't a lot of guys on this defensive line that can consistently win a one-on-one. So I understand that. But he's got to find a way to break through and be that impactful guy. I think we've seen some of that, but if he could find another gear, that would be massive for this team in the playoffs. And then Ben Johnson also was asked about Austin Booker's hit on Jordan Love that knocked him out of the game. That's obviously been heavily debated. I've argued strongly that, yeah, Jordan Love ducked. I don't know what you want him to do. Could you argue Booker still led with the crowd in the helmet? Yeah, but when you're kind of trying to tackle in the midsection, like you're naturally, your upper body is going to come down. So it's really hard for these defensive players. Here's kind of a paraphrase of that answer from Ben Johnson from Jason Leisure. He said, it's a little hard to coach because it's a, quote, bang-bang play, but it's, quote, 100% a penalty, and the injury to Love is not what anybody wants, which we all agree with that, or most people. Rivalries, people say things they shouldn't, I understand, but I don't want Jordan Love to get hurt. To me, that's pretty tough on Booker. Like, I don't know. He's aiming for the chest area. Maybe he came in a tick higher than he should, but like if you see how far he ducked, if he doesn't duck at all, it's upper chest. I don't think he makes contact with the helmet. So I think we're making it really hard on these defensive players. Ben's probably right in the sense that it is a penalty. They're going to call that, and I don't even disagree with that. Like, they are going to call that. We see it all the time, but I still think it's frustrating. It's like, man, like you can't hit him low. You can't hit him high. It's not like he launched. Maybe he led a little with the crown, but, you know, Packers fans on Twitter, he's head hunting. I don't think he's head hunting. I think he's trying to drive the quarterback back and make an impactful play. Which he did, but unfortunately it drew a penalty. So I wish Jordan Love well. I hope he gets back and is healthy, and we don't want him to be injured or anything like that. Here's the good news with all this with Booker. He's flashed 2 weeks in a row now. Remember, first game back, has a huge strip sack against Cleveland. Then, like, he's been okay, but hasn't popped really as a pass rusher. He'd kind of make more impactful plays against the run, which that part of the development is good, but you need him to be a good pass rusher. Well, he has 2 sacks against the Browns, and sacked Jordan Love twice, just happened to get penalties on both of them. The first one was the classic, what's the phrase, Cullen, where you the body weight into him or whatever. He drove him into the ground, whatever they call that. Body weight landed on him again. I get they're going to call that. That's pretty tough to, like, hit him straight on and then avoid falling on him. Last I checked, that's physics, but you know, that's the NFL we're in. And then, obviously, that one that Ben was talking about today where the helmets made contact. So, good news is he got to the quarterback multiple times. Just unfortunately, drew the penalty. So, if he can continue to get back there and, like with Montez Sweat, impact the passer, then that's only a good thing for the Bears. And they need it because this pass rush has not been nearly good enough this season. Do you trust the defensive line? I mean, that's the big question, right? Like, can it be good enough? We know it's not going to be great. No, it's not going to be awesome. Can it be good enough? That's what I'm hoping for. Type T for trust, D for don't. Kind of hard to. I don't think it's a terrible unit, but it's certainly an area of weakness compared to the rest of this roster. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Chicago Bears Now. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're here every single day. As always, bear down.